Multiple wrestlers have been released from WWE, but first, another huge WWE contract is coming to an end. As we head closer towards 2024, the next 12 months or so is shaping up to be a very interesting year when it comes to free agency, with the likes of Drew McIntyre, MJF, Will Ospreay, and many more edging closer to the ends of their deals with their respective companies. Well, according to a new report from Fightful Select, another name can be added to that list as a former WWE champion could hit the free agency market come next year. The story confirms that whilst the exact date is still unclear, the Brawling Brute's Sheamus doesn't have long left on his current contract, and the report notes, Fightful Select has learned that longtime WWE superstar Sheamus currently has a contract set to expire with WWE in 2024. This is the case with numerous stars, including Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre. We're told by WWE sources that it is believed his deal is up in the first quarter or first half of 2024, though that period isn't confirmed. Fightful also added that a ton of WWE superstars signed new 5-year deals in 2019, meaning 2024 will be very interesting when it comes to deals ending, and would add that even the several contracts that were negotiated after 2019 are also up in or at the end of 2024. During his career, Sheamus has won 4 world titles, as well as having a Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, and Money in the Bank to his name, although it's unclear where he or WWE stands on his future in the company. And next up, we have the latest on 2 worrying injuries from AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. Last night, All Elite Wrestling would return to the Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York to hold the 3rd annual Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite, a show that saw multiple titles on the line. One of the championship matches on the card would see AEW International Champion Jon Moxley defend his title for the 4th time when he took on Rey Fenix in singles action. However, the match didn't exactly go as planned, and to the surprise of everybody, Moxley's shoulders were pinned to the mat for the 1-2-3, resulting in a new champion just 17 days after he won the belt in the first place in the main event of the All Out pay-per-view. It turns out that the finish wasn't originally set to go this way, although a black fire driver on the champ seemingly led to those involved calling an audible on the finish. According to multiple outlets, Moxley would in fact suffer a concussion during the match, and PW Insider would write, as you may have seen, the finish to Jon Moxley vs Rey Fenix went awry when Moxley did not kick out after a black fire driver as planned. Moxley was checked by doctors for a long time in the ring before sitting up and eventually walking out through the crowd. Backstage, the belief is Moxley may have suffered a concussion. As for his short-term future, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful would take to Twitter to confirm that there is optimism when it comes to the former champion's health, and he would write, those that I spoke to in AEW were optimistic Jon Moxley is okay after the spot tonight. The finish was not planned that way, obviously. Tony Khan and members of the Blackpool Combat Club checked on him right after. Another title that was on the line on the show was the AEW World Championship, which would be defended by Long Islander MJF in the main event of the show, a match that also saw an injury take place. With that said, it wasn't Max or the challenger Samoa Joe that was hurt, but in fact Adam Cole, who came to give his best friend some encouragement before MJF turned the tides and was able to retain his title. As Cole made his way out to ringside during a Kakina clutch spot, Cole would leap off the ramp down to the floor to be able to position himself on a particular side of the ring. However, upon landing, he would fall forward, clearly tweaking his leg in some way in the process. Adam would then be seen limping throughout the rest of the show, and according to Fightful Select, for the rest of the night, before being sent to hospital for a check, and the outlet would write, Adam Cole sustained an injury jumping to ringside and limped following that, including backstage. We're told he was in obvious pain backstage and was taken to the hospital. He's since left and was seen on crutches. It was later confirmed by Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer that Adam Cole suffered from an ankle-related injury. We now wait to find out the severity of the knock and how it may affect the ongoing MJF-Adam Cole friendship storyline. And next, a new world champion was crowned on AEW Grand Slam. And for our final story from Grand Slam, let's find out what happened in the opening match of the night, where NJPW strong openweight champion Eddie Kingston battled old foe and ROH world champion Claudio Castagnoli, with both men men's titles on the line. In the end, the Mad King left with both belts, becoming a one-time Ring of Honor champion in the process, this after striking Swiss with a back fist and a press powerbomb. Kingston would later appear in a backstage interview that was posted to social media, where he would speak of his pride of winning the ROH World title before paying homage to the second ever champion in the title's lineage, Xavier, who was born in Queens, New York, the base for last night's event. And Eddie would say, "This is dedicated to Xavier, the second ever Ring of Honor World Champion. Rest in peace, bud. Thank you for everything you've done for this business. Thank you for being good to me in the locker room. But this one's for you, dog, because people should remember who you are. X marks the spot, baby. Love you, X. Rest in peace." Next up, WWE have signed a brand new deal. WWE have been in the midst of broadcast renegotiations as of late, with the company looking to maximize any potential revenue made from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. With that said, WWE have confirmed the future of their Blue brand via a press release sent out today, with the show now returning to the USA Network, as well as the addition of 4 primetime television specials that will air on NBC. And the statement says, WWE and NBC Universal have agreed to a 5-year domestic media rights partnership that will bring Friday Night SmackDown back to USA Network beginning October 2024. Additionally, beginning in the 2024-25 season, WWE will produce 4 primetime specials per year that will air on NBC, marking the first time WWE will air on the network in prime time. PW Insider would later report that the deal is believed to be worth $1.4 billion, a 40% increase over SmackDown's previous deal with Fox, which was valued at $1 billion. The Hollywood Reporter have also released some news regarding the new agreement, confirming that while SmackDown will be moving to the USA Network, Raw and NXT will be finding a new home, and they would note, "The new deal will bring WWE to NBC primetime and SmackDown to USA on Friday nights. It will also mean the end of Raw and NXT on USA." A source familiar with the Raw discussions tell The Hollywood Reporter that the market for the program is extremely active, with traditional linear networks, streaming services, and unexpected players all interested. The news appears to align with previous reports that Amazon and their Prime Video service are leading the chase for the 2 shows, whilst Disney are also in the running with the potential to air on Disney+. And next, multiple wrestlers have been released from WWE. Following the recent takeover of WWE by the Endeavor Group, which merges the promotion with UFC into one company, TKO, there's been speculation as to if the wrestling side of the business would be letting talent go as part of their ongoing budget cuts that's hit more than 100 members of staff. Well, today the releases would begin as several wrestlers have taken to social media to confirm they no longer work for WWE. The first name confirmed would be Mustafa Ali, who took to social media to break the news, and he would write, "I am no longer with WWE. I look forward to the future. Thank you. A deal." The release follows a 7-year stint with the company, having signed all the way back in 2016 following his involvement in that year's Cruiserweight Classic tournament. Interestingly, Fightful have reported that Ali's departure is not due to any broader talent cuts, meaning there is seemingly another reason for his departure, although the details remain unclear. The second WWE release was then confirmed shortly after Australian native Emma took to social media to respond to the announcement that the Elimination Chamber event was heading to Perth, Australia, calling the news a dream. Shortly after, however, she would then reply to her previous post by confirming that she will no longer be able to make the show when she wrote, "Oops, never mind, I just got released. I am no longer with WWE." Emma departs the company less than 1 year after a return in October 2022, with her being one of the many talents that were brought back to the company after Triple H took over the creative process. Another release would then be confirmed, this time by Fightful, who would take to social media to reveal that Rick Boogs has been released by WWE, bringing an end to his 6-year career with the promotion. Boogs has been with WWE since 2017, working in NXT up until his main roster call-up in May 2021. He would later be hit by an injury that kept him out of action for 9 months last year, before returning in January 2023. However, he has mostly worked house shows, dark matches, and television battle royals since. The releases would then continue to break, this time when Alia, who holds the record for the fastest victory in WWE history, would take to X to confirm that she's no longer a member of the roster. While she hasn't been a prominent member of WWE television for her entire run with the company, Alia has in fact been signed since May 2015, so more than 8 years, although the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion has now officially been let go. Another name that's been released is Elias, who was actually recently rumoured to have departed the company following the expiration of his contract, a story that has now seemingly been debunked. With that said, his days in WWE are officially over for now, after Fightful took to social media to confirm his release from the company. Riddick Moss is another name that's been let go, news once again confirmed by Fightful, with him now joining his real-life fiancée Emma on the free agency market. Moss did respond to the news in good spirits, however, this when replying to Fightful's post asking if the story was real, before joking that he didn't answer the phone. It would then be confirmed that Top Dollar has also been let go from WWE, this for the second time in the space of 2 years. He would rejoin the company in August 2022 alongside his hit row stablemate Ashante the Adonis and B-Fab, although he once again finds himself on the free agency market. Shelton Benjamin is another talent that was let go by WWE today, this following his return to the company in July 2016 after a stint in Ring of Honor and New Japan. During that time, he's mostly been known for his role in the Hurt Business stable, although as of late, he's been part of a sporadic tag team alongside former faction mate Cedric Alexander. Perhaps the most surprising name from today's releases would then emerge after it was revealed that former world champion Dolph Ziggler is no longer with WWE, ending his impressive 20-year stint with the company. Whilst he was never established as the top guy for a sustained period of time, Ziggler has been heavily relied upon as what would be described as a good hand, whilst also picking up the World Heavyweight, United States, Intercontinental and NXT championships, whilst also winning multiple tag team titles. Much like all releases, a 90-day non-compete clause will be attached to all main roster cuts, meaning the talents will not be able to appear for another wrestling promotion until Wednesday, December 20. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 facts that MJF doesn't want you to know.